Okay, so I'm going to hit two WWE topics pretty quickly. One is Lana's current situation. Ironically, Lana went from being this really dynamic character. You know, had the second best promos next to like Paul Heyman. Unless Steph had a great one, then Steph would probably overtake Lana. But she had this really fantastic presence, and fans absolutely loved her. Vince saw dollar signs, decided that he needed to break her up with Rusev, which is kind of pointless because most people already kind of know by now that they actually are a real-life couple. And having them go through a very, very forced breakup, it felt like it should have been kind of like a slow burn. And then putting her with Dolph Ziggler right away, again, just seems very jarring. Lots of people don't like it. It's one of those things where I'm trying to figure out what the end game is. Rusev is not going to come out looking fantastic. He's not. They're going this weird pseudo-abusive route, and it's like, it does not feel like it's going to end. It's going to end well when it comes to Rusev, which is horrible because the guy's a fantastic athlete. Yeah, he does deserve better. Wow, it's a fantastic mouthpiece for him, and together they were a great unit. On his own, it's going to be kind of hard for him to get anywhere near as high as he was before. And then Lana went from, she was one who controlled Rusev. She had this absolute monster that she just, no, you're going to beat him down, and then when I say crush, then you're going to destroy this guy. Great, it was dynamic. It was this real change when it came to a valet, because normally your valets tended to be, well, female valets, were there just to kind of look pretty, maybe do something here and there, and they were normally used as fodder when it came to doing different feuds. So she actually was in control. Different from like the Brock Lesnar Paul Heyman aspect, where Paul Heyman has a level of control. Not a mastery of Brock Lesnar, but a level of control. But then they broke the two of them up, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm with Dolph Ziggler now. Okay, what you doing? Standing on the outside of the ring. Very, very frequently getting a mic and talking to Rusev. So she get remarkably less mic time, as well as less stand there time. Her character does seem like it's nowhere near as dynamic, which is sad. Do I think she's become a true lamppost? No. If you want to see a true lamppost, watch Adam Rose and Rosa Mendes. That to me is true lamppost. Has she gone from being this character who's on the rise, just kind of feels like she's on the decline? I don't picture anybody out of these three coming out looking fantastic unless, big unless. I just mean two ways. One, she knew Rusev was going to have some injuries. You know, that just his lifestyle was just getting to him. She's aligning herself with Dolph Ziggler, knowing that he's highly athletic. They're going to try to use him to win a title if he wins a title, or maybe gets the Money in the Bank briefcase off of Sheamus. But then she can convince Dolph to feud with Rusev, and then turn on Ziggler, put the title on, put a title or the Money in the Bank briefcase on Rusev. Or the other option too, she's using Dolph Ziggler in one way to kind of get back at Rusev for being abusive, but two, to learn how to become a great wrestler. And then you end up having Lana team up with Paige to be the one to help take out the Bellas. And then you solidify her, number one, as the primary face, and two, as another face in the division. Or they have no idea what they're doing, but they're like, face Lana makes money. Maybe we'll do goofy things. If they were to do a small sequence of vignettes where she was becoming Americanized, and they were written well, I could see it being like a pseudo comedic, but still serious enough so that she gets a decent amount of acting in. And occasionally have her break and go back to a Russian accent. could kind of work. But it's not something that you can do, and then 3 or 4 years later, you're like, and this was the moment. This was the moment we turned Lana from a Russian heel into the all-American babyface, into the female John Cena. So I don't know where we're really going with that. Daniel Bryan piece. Reports are sketchy, but Daniel Bryan's injuries might hit a point where he is done. A lot of his multiple concussions, he says a lot of injuries, a lot of them being spinal nerve related, that his career could effectively be done. Now the weird thing is, if he is done, he gave us one amazing run at WrestleMania 30. He got to have one of the best WrestleMania moments to not feature Shawn Michaels. He defeated Triple H, Batista, and Randy. He beat Evolution by himself in one night. Both of which are amazing scenarios. He went from being somebody who held the title at SummerSlam for a few minutes, and from SummerSlam to WrestleMania, had the crowd in the palm of his hand, had match of the year candidates, and did an absolutely phenomenal job. And then an injury ended that dream. Came back, everyone's like, he's going to win the Royal Rumble, he's going to be on the main event WrestleMania. He's not. We hate you, Roman Reigns. He then wins the IC title, and you're like, okay. He won another title, and then he's out again with an injury. Of course, when he came back, there was discussion, you should probably tone down what it is that you're doing in the ring. Or else you might hit somebody else who's going to your career's going to end much sooner than it should. And a lot of that is, from his time in the Indies, he has had a tremendous amount of physical abuse. And his style is a very, very physically intense style. If you want to go back and watch Edge. Watch the way Edge wrestled. Edge threw everything he had almost every single match. And his body took the wear and tear, and that was it. His career was cut short. We complain about people like John Cena. Yes, John Cena doesn't work a very high work rate when it comes to a match, but he also will still wrestle for quite some time more, because his style is safe enough that he's not going to get injured. Big Show, Kane, they are significantly older than the rest of the roster. But guess what? They work a safe enough style that's slow enough that uses their gift of being very big. Their bodies, while broken down, aren't that bad. Foley took a tremendous amount of abuse on his body. You look at it, you see it. Rey Mysterio, same thing. Jeff Hardy, same thing. You start seeing smaller guys who are throwing their bodies just all over the place. And they have these great, exciting careers, but they have short careers. And it is a very, very sad moment. Daniel Bryan, he hit the peak. And to be honest, he does not owe the fans anything. He could be a GM on SmackDown, a GM on Raw. Doesn't need to get back in the ring ever again. Doesn't need to. Or if he wants to, he doesn't need to physically get involved in a match ever again. He gave us an amazing WrestleMania moment. He main evented WrestleMania and won the title. Lots of people cannot say they main evented WrestleMania. So that by itself is an accomplishment. He's a Money in the Bank winner. He won the title as a heel, won the title as a face. He got over both ways. But he also ended up having one of the shortest matches in WrestleMania history. Plus one of the shortest title matches in WrestleMania history. And then a few years later, boom. He is the main event. WrestleMania. He helped reinvigorate the tag division by tagging with Kane. With some fantastic vignettes. Probably some of the best work Kane has done since the Brothers of Destruction. Who's got a tremendously great legacy. And I'm pretty sure the moment that whatever gender he and Brie produce could have the potential to be an amazing wrestler. because you've got some great work ethic. So, if his career's done, you know what? Take care of yourself. You've got a family. Spend time at home with Bree or with Josie. Either way, just relax and enjoy your life. If you still have the itch to get back in the ring, Performance Center. You can be a formative force and train the next generation of professional wrestlers. And you can have them learn from you. Where it's like, suicide dives, great, people love them. Don't do them all the time, though. Don't dive head first. If you do, don't do it all the time. Save it for the big matches. You all see people like Sami Zayn and Hideo Itami. You're seeing a lot of injuries in some of these guys, and these are long-term injuries. And they kind of need to adjust their work rate. I know people go in the Attitude Era, you could hire somebody new and you brought them in. Yes. Look at a lot of them who are Attitude Era mainstays. Not that many of them are in really good shape. Look at other people who have to do much more higher work rate indie matches, where you're seeing a lot more chair shots, you're seeing a lot more ladder shots, you're seeing a lot more just vicious, brutal car crash to your body. It's hurting them, it's building up over time, and it's starting to prematurely end careers. Corey Graves, great job when it comes to being an announcer on NXT, would have been phenomenal on the main roster. Multiple concussions, a lot of damage due to the time he spent during the indie circuits. Makes it to the big time. Too many injuries. That's it. So, Daniel Bryan is done. Thank you. You did a phenomenal job. If he does get to come back, please work like a Shawn Michaels Jericho schedule. Show up, work a little bit from a little before WrestleMania. So we're talking like February, March. Show up around that time. Do a Mania program. Do the pay-per-view after Mania. Take some time off like May, June. Come back in July. Work a program that takes you through SummerSlam. Maybe get involved in a multi-person tag match at Survivor Series. You don't need to come back full-time. If you can, come back part-time. Do bits and pieces here. Keep yourself healthy. If you are done, by all means, thank you.